Good morning. Bit of an earlier start, no time like the present. Hope you're all well. Welcome to today's flight. Sorry it's a bit late. I put up a community post last night. I don't know if anyone actually saw it. I'm never quite sure what community posts, whether they get seen or not. But yeah, my car is going in for its annual inspection, the MOT as we call it here in the UK. To find out if it's still legal to stay on the road, and if not, how much I have to pay in repair bills. So we've got all that to look forward to. It's possible the phone may go at any point. Morning, Christos. Hey, Kibris, nice to see you. So yeah, fingers and toes crossed, everyone, please, for the car. We could do without a big car bill today. Could definitely do without that. Funny you say about VATSIM. Morning, Nick. How you doing? Funny you say about VATSIM. I was on VATSIM only yesterday. I did one of those observer mode flights. So basically I started at Gatwick and I picked someone that I could see on the VATSIM map, parked up next to them, and then sort of pretended that I was them. So I followed along. I've got to be honest, it was a bit of a strange experience. Obviously I couldn't talk back, but I felt like I kind of knew. I felt like I would have been okay. The only time I got stuck was when we were on the taxiway and we got handed off to tower. So ground handed us off to tower, just we were basically holding short. And I tuned the frequency in and I thought, what would I actually say now? There's just a part of my mind went blank. I was like, damn it, what do I say? And luckily, obviously, the person I was following, who was doing the actual talking, they sorted it out, so that was good. But yeah, just a few moments where I thought, had I been doing it for real, I may have sort of locked up a little bit. Oh no, Kibris, it wasn't streamed. I just did it off stream. Well, hopefully, Nick, the car won't need fixing. Hopefully, it will sail through with no faults. It's just an inspection, basically, to make sure that it's safe and legal to stay on the road for another year. It did take a while to get off the ground in Gatwick. I was surprised at that. That was one thing that surprised me. It wasn't crazy busy. I mean, there was like maybe 5 of us queued. I don't know if that qualifies as busy or not really for Gatwick. It felt like the airport was alive. You and me both, Badger. You and me both. I had one of those nights last night where I went to bed thinking, I haven't been very good at going to bed recently. I've been staying up too late and waking up tired, being like, oh, I'm so tired tonight, I'm just going to go to bed so early. When you're in that state of tiredness, you make yourself those promises, like, I'm going to go to bed straight away and sleep so well tonight. And then, of course, you don't. Oh, hey, James. How's it going? 40 minutes on the taxiways, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it must have taken us a good 25 minutes to get from after we pushed back. We got pushed back, and then we got told to wait because they said controller... What was it they said? Controller coordination in progress or something? Not entirely sure what that meant, but it was like all aircraft stay still because the controllers were doing something. Coming into our destination... That was the other thing, actually. We left Gatwick and I don't think the wheels had been off the ground for all of like 60 seconds, and they were like, Unicom frequency change approved, and we had no ATC basically all the way there, which was a bit weird. Coming into Germany, which is where we're going today. Yeah, sort of 10 minutes out from our destination in Cologne. That was the only real time we got some ATC on the whole trip. Air traffic controller in Germany was brilliant though. Gotta hand it to him. Fantastic. There was one small issue. The controller that obviously we were initially dealing with was center, I guess you would say. And we then got handed off to tower just as we turned on final. And it quickly transpired that tower wasn't online. So I kind of thought, right, well, let's switch back to center. And the guy I was following took ages to figure that out and switch back to center, by which time it was too late. We had to initiate a go around. But it's good, it's a good experience. I figured I'll get a few more under my belt, sort of off stream, and then we can start using it a little bit in the streams. Definitely one of those things that I think once you do it, it feels okay, whereas before you do it, you're like, oh no, that's him, I'm going to mess it all up. Yeah, there are a few times taxiing on the ground in Gatwick where it felt like the person I was following just stopped randomly. And I kind of thought to myself, why have you stopped? Like, would I have messed up if I was doing this for real? Would I have just kept going and made a mistake? So I stopped kind of just behind. And then sure enough, ATC comes on being like, carry on, like keep going, turn left onto Alpha November or whatever it was. So I kind of felt good about myself in that sense, like actually I would have done the right thing in that situation. It wasn't like I would have, had I blindly carried on and I would have messed up, I'd have been like, oh, I need to be a bit more careful. So yeah, confidence is lifted a little bit with that sim. We're running FSLTL today as well, as you might be able to tell from looking out the window. I quite like it. It just brings a little bit more life to the sim. Just a few parked up at the gate, you know. Interested to see what our FPS is today actually coming into Cologne, because yesterday it was not good. On short final it all went wrong really with the frames. I'm surprised they managed to get down actually, because it was sort of in the teens in terms of FPS, which is never a good place to be. Where are you flying today, James? A320 Sim Pilot put on a good show last night. I think everyone in the community owes A320 Sim Pilot a massive debt of gratitude, I really do. Germany and UK ATC are my favourite. However, strongly suggest you fly over Turkey. They're passionate. Cool. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I was a little bit, I came away feeling just a little bit underwhelmed that there was like no ATC basically the whole way, given that that's what I went there to do. It was cool that we had stuff at our kind of takeoff and departure destination airports. I mean, is that normal? Or did I just catch it at like a bad time of day, or it was Sunday yesterday? Maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know. Right. Going to Lisbon. Lovely. I always find like when I get on an actual plane, and it's only like once a year, I always listen very carefully to the tannoys, like, especially if you're on an A320, it's like, is that Sim 320 Sim Pilot? Never has been, but you never know. Alrighty, shall we get going? Let's get some stats up so you can see where we're going. Oh, you like the 747 landing, Nick, did you? I've got to be honest, as I was making that video, I was kind of like, this one's for Nick. Weeknight 7 to 11, staffed a lot. Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. It's quite nice, Nick, actually, that we got to fly the 747 a little bit. And hopefully we'll do a bit more. Because I think the AAU2 update's been delayed a week, so I heard. And it'd be quite nice to fly the current version a little bit in this week and next week, just so we get a real feel of how the update has changed things. That would be very cool. Right, should we get up front? Let's have a look around, shall we? Oh, my bad. Let's have a look. Let's get the battery on. First things first. Position light steady. APU. One thing I will say though, having spent only a brief hour and a bit on VATSIM, was that I very quickly now feel the need for a physical radio dial panel thing, because changing frequencies with the mouse while trying to do stuff, especially when you're getting close to final and you're doing turns and you're a bit busier, I could see that being very useful. Very, very useful. The question is, do I buy something off the peg, which must be quite a bit of money, or do we try that Mobi Flight, which could be the start of a bit of a rabbit hole. Here we go. So we'll do these two here. And look up just a touch. I'm going to make a video in the next couple of days, hopefully. I ordered a really, really cheap webcam off of Amazon. It cost £7 and 87 pence, so £7.87, which to me was a sign, so I bought it, obviously immediately. And it's a cheap and nasty, horrible little webcam. Like, seriously, like, terrible. If you went onto like a Teams call or a Zoom call or whatever, you'd probably be laughed out the room. It is horrendous. However, I'm trying to see if, with a combination of AI track and open track, it's AI track? I forget what it's called. 2 bits of software anyway that are free. See if we can turn it into a head tracker. I have got it working. I'm going to do a little video explaining how I did it, in case anyone else wants to have a go. Right, your dampener. Oh yeah, Badger, that's really cool, isn't it? Because I saw a video on YouTube. I forget who it was. Forget who the YouTuber was, but yeah, they did a whole video on the fact that there's a 747 that kind of leaves there and goes back to Frankfurt. Which is great, isn't it? As like a 747 flight that A is real and B is quite short. Because I do feel a little bit, I wouldn't say sad's the right word, but a little bit like I can't use the bigger aircraft, because in the time we have available to stream right now, kind of shorter haul stuff is more appropriate. But I mean, I know it's a sim, I could do like Bristol to Dublin, I guess, if I really wanted, but it would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Oh, I didn't fuel the aircraft. How much fuel do we need? Good news on the memberships, they're coming. YouTube are approving them, apparently. Alright, so apparently we need 6,445, yeah, 45 kilos of fuel. We return out of there. Ground services. For whatever reason, it's set us to stairs again. I don't know why it's done that. Jetway. I didn't realise though, Badger, it was just summertime they did that. I mean, that would probably make sense, wouldn't it, with demand? That would make sense. Right. Let's get back up top. Crossfeed is closed. Fuel pumps are on. These two are gonna... yeah. Not enough fuel on board for center tanks, so we're getting a low pressure warning, hence we'll get those off. Emergency lights, guarded. I don't know why I always click it and then do the guard, because of course the guard will put it where it needs to be as well, but never mind. Window heat. Whoops. Get the hydraulics A and B on. And we'll get the PAPs onto auto. Isolation valve is already on open. And we'll get some APU bleed air going. Alright, let's have a look down here. Let's go into FMC. And pause on it. Go to our next page. Grab either one of these. Click it. And then you see the value gets copied into our scratch pad. Go back to our previous page. Click into here. And paste that value in. Only summer holiday flights. Yeah, that would make sense, I guess. Yeah, I can't imagine people wanting to go in the middle of winter. Though I guess the weather probably isn't that bad in the winter, right? Okie dokie. Route. So we're going EGLL to EDDK. That in company route. Activate. Execute. Into the departures and arrivals. I'm obviously going to depart from Heathrow. Runway. Is it 27 left? Yes, 27 left. Using Det2G. Is that Deptford? Don't know. My geography isn't great, ironically. And we're going to go into Cologne, EDDK. ILS 32 right. Depot 1C. Now, transition. What do we do for transition? Let's have a look at ChartFox. I need to get Navigraph. That's what I need, especially with that sim on the horizon. Must get Navigraph. Not sure which transition to select. NVO, I think, is the one we want. I think that's the one we want. Looking at the general direction we're going to be heading in from. Let's have a look. Let's go to our legs. Go into plan. Let's step through the route. So out of Heathrow, make a left. 6,000 feet. Then we can start climbing. Though I haven't done perf in it yet. We're just looking at the waypoints just to make sure. Okay, what's going on here? What is going on? Tell you what we'll do. That has not gone well, has it? It makes sense to me, at least, if we... God blimey. Maybe if we... From Denov, go straight to NVO. So if we delete the route app, and we delete Yuruki, and we delete Depok, yeah, and we delete KBO, and we delete Cologne, and we go direct to NVO. See how that looks. Oh yeah, well reminded, Nick. What we'll do the camera first. Thank you, that's reminded me. Yeah, then we'll do map straight after we get going. So SPI, Denov, NVO, NVO26, boom, boom. And then we've got the go around procedure. Out to Cologne again. And have another stab at it. That's good. That is good. Right, let's do perf init request. We'll load that in. Execute. Unable cruise alt. Really? So 6,000. What is the cruise alt? It looks like the highest we've got there is 27 or 299. What's the cruise? 37. Okay, well, let's go for FL 300. Can it do that? Yeah, it can. That's fine. It thinks it can make it there. That should be fine. It's unusual why the plane thought it couldn't do that. What was I doing? So N1 limit I'm going to leave alone because I don't really understand. I need to like watch some tutorials because I don't fully understand this page. and what I'm expected to do with it. But everything seems to work if I don't touch it, so I'm going to leave it alone. Heathrow, nice long runway, flaps 5, 140, 142, 151, that makes sense. Centre of gravity in the trim, so centre of gravity is 25, 477 on the trim. What are we at? Ah, I don't want to do that. That looks like 477. Good. Local pressure is one thing we haven't looked at. Whoops. What have I done? What have I done? EGLL, Heathrow, local pressure is 1011. Okay, switch that. 1011. So not far off standard. Good. It'll be quite a fun approach. We'll do as much as we can hand flying. We're going to be limited to 6,000 feet as we come out of Heathrow. Alright, let's get some flight directors on. Almost ready for a pushback. One thing I didn't do actually was reset the pressurization panel. So of course that's all changed, hasn't it? 30,000 feet. And Cologne is actually 300 feet above sea level. So we'll do that as well. Right, where was I? Flight directors are on. Oh, what was V2? 151. So we do V2 plus 15. Up here, I believe. So 166. LNAV we will arm. That's working today. The other day it wouldn't work. Runway heading is 270. And we'll do 6,000 in the window up here just because we're obviously going to be limited to that. Set our auto brakes to RTO. Rejected takeoff. And set our parking brake. Get this one here to standby. And we should be good to get rid of the jetway. Why isn't the jetway leaving? What's going on? Ah, I removed the wheel chocks, didn't I? There it goes. That was my fault. Hey, check it out. See that little bit of blue there? That's where I messed up making the livery. Now you can't unsee it. Okay. So let's have a look. at the plan here. We can do tail to their left. Then it's more or less out of this little cul-de-sac. Follow around here. And then trundle down there to pick up the runway. Right. So, let's see if we can get pushed back. Push back, let's select us a tug. We'll go standard left, turn the nose to the right.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left. Roger that. Ready for pushback. Tail to the left. Release brake, please.
Okay, parking brake
Brakes released.
off.
Brakes released. Here we go.
There we go. So far, so good. That's a bit of an aggressive turn. Okay.
Pushback complete. Parking brake, please.
Parking brake set.
Brake set. Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slip release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
Good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Right. I do believe it is time to do some engine start. Right, let's just verify that our throttles are actually in the idle position. Yes, they are, because we've done that before, I can assure you. Gear lever is down. So, engine 2 is put into... Oh, no, hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Let's get these packs into off. We've been here before, many a time. Many a time. Where I'm like, why won't the engine start? It's because the packs are on. Okay, let's wait for about 20% N2. 20-25%. That'll do. Let's get some fuel on. Yeah, don't worry, Nick. We'll get the cam on as soon as we've got engine start. Okay, so we've got 60% N2 nearly. Switch has automatically gone back to off, so we'll do engine 1 into ground. Yeah, it's nice now the cam's working again, Nick. It was a bit annoying really when it was so broken. Okay, 25% N2. Let's add some fuel. And let's do flaps 5 ready for takeoff. Good. Okay, that's gone back to off. Oh, I didn't put my anti-collision light on, did I? My bad. My fault. Okay, let's get the engine... Whoops. Get power coming from the engines now. Get our taxi light on because we're going to be going in a moment. Auto, auto, auto. And then we'll do... lead off, APU off, probe heat on, I think, why is that complaining? Dare I say it, I think we're nearly good to go. I did the taxi light, didn't I? Yes, I did. Alright. Cam on. Let's get these parking brakes off. So probably looking at around about an hour and a bit once we're in the air to Cologne, which should line up nicely with the time we have today at least. So it's out of here, and then we will make a right. These rudder pedals still feel so sensitive. You see, this is where I think the head tracker would come in handy, just so I can quickly move my head and maybe just quickly look over there and then look back, whereas with the joystick it's a bit of a faff. I've got a little joystick here on the yoke. What is that? Has someone left a trolley in the way? You can't leave that there. This is an airport, come on. Can't park that there, mate. A 747 over there, is that a Lufthansa tail I can see? Let's just bring in the ND just a touch. Yeah, I'm not sure I would use the head tracker kind of in flight or as part of my videos that much. I mean, you can toggle it on and off, which is handy. I think, from your point of view as the viewers, I think if you're not careful it could stand to make it an awful lot worse. Imagine you're trying to watch what's going on and the screen is kind of like shaking around and, you know, doing all that stuff just because I'm moving my head. I think if you're not careful you could end up making something that's actually worse than what we currently have. However, I think when you're on the ground it's quite useful. Not so much once you're in the air. That'd be my 2 cents anyway, for what it's worth. Alright, so 6,000 feet is our limit. So if I'm going to hand fly, I need to make sure we don't go above that. Because we're going to be limited quite some time. Where do we go now? Should we go right here? This is one of the advantages of VATSIM, is that they tell you exactly where to go. Can't really get it wrong, unless of course you read the map wrong or whatever. Okay, let's hold short here. Just give us a minute. So, landing lights on, engines into continuous. I think. I think that's everything. We'll soon see in a minute. RND into 5 miles, just so we've got a bit more detail to help us with the turns that are going to be coming up. Alright, seatbelts on, tray tables up. I think we're good to go. Make sure we've got free movement. Yes, we do. Let's arm the auto throttle. Oh, hang on. I did not expect it to do that. That was weird. That's a new one. Okay.
Knots. V1 rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. I did not expect it to do that. Just flicking that auto throttle switch. That was not what I expected to happen. That was very strange. It just went from 0 to 100 basically. And I was expecting it to wait for me to do it, and then when I click the little screw icon, then for it to do so. That's weird. Go. Let's get the map on fuel. I think that's basically the fun part done now. So we've got VNAV, LNAV, and we have auto throttle. There's Heathrow in the background there. Oh no. It's doing it again. Don't do it. Don't do it. Blimey. I'm going to need to take a breath. I thought the sim was going to crash on us then after all that. Never fly to and from EGLL in the sim. Only once in real life, 1996. Yeah, it's funny. I find that I naturally want to gravitate towards Gatwick. And I don't know why. Really. Let's get 300. Up here at least. Then when the time is right, the plane will take us where we need to go. That takeoff was very strange. That was very, very strange, that takeoff. I feel like all I did was I flicked the auto throttle switch and it just went straight to like toga. Like no wait for me to do anything. That was very strange, that. I need to read into the behaviour a bit more around that to ensure that doesn't happen again. Yeah, for some reason I kind of consider Gatwick as like my home airport, even though I live nowhere near Gatwick. It is not my home airport, but I kind of feel, it feels like home, weirdly. Heathrow feels big and, you know, there's something about Gatwick. Just right. I feel like I need to maybe get away from the free version of Gatwick on flightsim.to. Yeah, it looks lovely, but my PC just really struggles to run it. How things looking up front? No buzzers, no warnings, that's good. How about... Yeah, okay, so 6,000 feet for the next 25 miles-ish, give or take. So that there would be London City, I believe. We should land there one day, that would be good fun, wouldn't it? Where is this that we're over? Let's have a look on the map. Oh, Biggin Hill, of course. Another possible use of the head tracker would be when we're in this view, we can just look around, kind of almost like you're a passenger looking out the window, but of course doing it with the joystick like this is a little bit weird. Ashi, how you doing? Nice to see you. How are you? 68% of people so far do not fly on VATSIM. 25 votes we've had. 25 votes and only 9 likes. Come on, guys. Smash that like button. I'm in one of those hard-nosed YouTubers now, demanding likes. I was watching something the other day, it was a live stream, like a podcast-style live stream, and basically they just refused to talk about any of their topics until they got 100 likes. And they just sat there, just not doing anything very much. Just being like, so, how's your day? Yeah, fine, how about you? Yeah, not bad. Like, come on, 100 likes, then we'll start. And to be fair to them, it worked. Maybe I should just sit on the taxiway, like, we are not taking off until we get 100 likes. Oh, cheers, Ashley. I have an exam tomorrow. I'm not even going to try and say that word, what the exam's about. That sounds complex. There's a 50% chance that the subject I'll have to talk about is the hydrogen aircrafts. Ooh. What's the other 50%? First of all, good luck with the exam. Hope you nail it. I'm sure you will. Badger says, I got a choice of 2 airports, Liverpool, John Lennon, or Manchester. I do like Liverpool, just because it's so close to the water. You get a nice departure and a nice arrival. Although I do find it tricky coming into Liverpool. I did double into Liverpool, and the way it brought me in, there was a lot of water. And I don't know why. Like, I've got no real excuse for it. I don't know whether it's just me or whether it's a pilots in general thing. But when I'm coming into land and all I've got is water in front of me, I find it really difficult. Alright, let's get that off. Still at 6,000, so we'll keep the lights on. Now, is this where we can start once we cross this waypoint here? No, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. No, it's not. Another 5 miles. This one up here, look. Yeah, never flown from either of those though, Badger. Usually ends up being one of the London ones for us. Though we have done Birmingham once. I thought Birmingham was alright actually. For what was like, what I thought was going to be a big, busy airport. I thought it was actually quite civilised. You ever flown to Cypriot airports? I'd love to watch. Once, but it wasn't a traditional live stream in the sense of what we're doing now, if that makes sense. It was there was a time on the channel where I would do, basically I wanted to do some long haul stuff, but I didn't have time to do it. So I would set the thing going, press autopilot, look out the window like this all the way there, and then make it into a video afterwards and then live stream that video. It was a really backwards way of doing it. Though it did find an audience, briefly. Sort of became like this ambient kind of content that people like to watch. But I think as I started doing more of this style of content, it was like, this is way better. I enjoy it more. people in general seem to enjoy it more. It's about 4 hours, isn't it, UK to Cyprus, give or take? Alright, 10,000 feet coming up. Get the engines out continuous. That light is wrong, that's my fault. Well, rubbish pilot. The other subject is about the Fourier series. I would not have a clue where to start with that. I'm not even sure I know what it is. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I wish you the best of luck. So that's more difficult though. Fingers crossed you get the hydrogen. Any recommendations on specific airports, Air Kibris? What we might try? Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's nothing to say that we have to start from the UK. I guess I've got to be careful about that because obviously I kind of feel like I always have to start from the UK or fly back to the UK because I'm from the UK, but there's absolutely no reason whatsoever why we can't start. We could do like Barcelona to Larnaca or whatever, you know? That's one for me to keep an eye on, that kind of internal bias. Because there's literally no reason for it. Well, no logical reason, anyway. There's France. It's weird that we can see France, but technically we're still over the UK. Passengers see it as well. Ooh, not quite. So we're landing on a different runway today compared to what I flew yesterday on my fly along with VATSIM. It was runway 14 yesterday and 32 today. 32 right. Good fun though that yesterday on VATSIM. I'm glad I did it. I just want to get a few more under my belt. I did find like a cheat sheet online of basically what to say and when. Elgav, that's Athens. Zelgav happens? I find, like, at the moment I'm almost building up this database in my head of, like, what all of these airport codes actually mean. Because roll the clock back a year, but I didn't know any. Not really. I think I knew Heathrow was EGLL. That was about it. Remember the first time I uploaded a video on this channel, or one of the first times, I got a comment, someone saying, is that EIDW? Where I landed, I was like, I don't know. You tell me. LTFM seems familiar. Istanbul, okay. Just googling these. LCLK. That's Larnaca, that would make sense. LGIR, not familiar with that one. Definitely not familiar with that one. Where is that? Oh, Crete. Isn't that where 320 Sim Pilot flew last night? I think you're showing off some scenery for that, wasn't it? Fourier series is like transforming a periodic function into an infinite sum of... Oh my goodness. Like, fair play, if you know that, and you can go into an exam and get a good result. That is outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Best of luck. I'll try not to disappoint you on the replay. Yeah, I hope you absolutely nailed that exam. Good luck. I must admit, lately, maybe only in the last month or so, I keep looking at add-on airports. Sort of adding up what it costs to get a few under my belt that are kind of like our hubs, if you like. Has a funny VOR DME approaches. Yeah, so watching 320 Sim Pilot last night, it looked like it was one of those where you come at it from an angle and then sort of turn almost last minute. Not dissimilar to like Queenstown in New Zealand. That sounds like we've reached our top of descent. I never put it into standard pressure. Too busy talking. Okay, so what's the plan? 6,000, then 3. So if I just put 3,000 in here, we're on VNAV. Oh, welcome back, Nick. How far are we away from top of descent then? Probably not that far, right? Yeah. 60 miles. Right. Sorry. Just taking care of some business on my laptop. Getting distracted. Why don't I have any weather data up here? Why is that? I've noticed that on the last few flights. Normally you get like the little arrow, don't you? So, Nick, I thought the 747 update was coming this Friday, maybe. I forget what date it's actually supposed to be. But I think, talking to a friend, that it's been pushed back a week. Which is fine by me. If they need the time to get it right, let them get it right. Yeah, it'd be nice to see when it comes out what a difference it is. I think they were saying in the Flight Sim live stream that the developers are getting very, very close to what they would call like book numbers in terms of performance data out of the aircraft in the sim versus what it does in real life, so it's all sounding very good. Is that top of descent I can hear? It isn't. We're just slowing down a touch. Yeah, just trying to get down to 259, which is fine, and then top of descent is literally like 2 seconds away. 2 miles, to be precise. There's top of descent. So, down to 6,000 at NVO. Need to be at 6,000 or above at that waypoint. All of these are just kind of calculated values where it anticipates we'll be on the way down to 6,000. But 6,000 is where we need to be at. We don't necessarily need to be at 14,906 at this waypoint. This is just where it calculates based on current conditions where the plane will be. Obviously we need to go down to 249 knots here to keep under the 250 speed limit. Then we go down to 230. Got a nice 25 mile to drop. Not even 2,000 feet. Then 184, 3,000, 163, and then it's, yeah, basically final approach. ILS frequency is 1111. Let's put those on both sides. 1111. There we go, that's all loaded in. So really, it's a case of just sitting tight for a minute. Okay, what are we at? 25,000 feet. I'm going to disappear for like 30 seconds or a minute. I just need to pop into the house. Just set you looking out the window. Right, enjoy the views. I'll be back in just a moment. Then we'll come into land. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Everything's looking pretty good. 16 miles to drop another almost 4,000 feet, just over. Okay, one thing we can be doing is checking in on the weather. 240 at 8 knots. And local pressure is 1014. There we go. Destination winds request. Is that it? Has it done it? Very strange. Aha, here we go. Load. We execute that. Still not showing us here, is it? I don't know why it's not doing that. Have I pressed the wrong button? Why is it not showing us that? We've got the train, which is fine. I just normally expect to see some wind directions up here. I don't know why that is. Don't know why that is. I mean, I'm probably doing something wrong, let's be clear about that, but... Okay, so what is on the map is completely wrong in terms of waypoints. So we are a little bit off profile, it would seem. Above 6,000, which obviously we will be. We're beneath 250, so that's no problem. Just going to be a case of doing our lights in a few moments. See, now it's going back up. Why is it doing that? 259. I don't want to go to 259. Doesn't make any sense. We want 240. Okay, I'm going to have to do a speed intervention here, aren't I? Because this is just being bizarre. Ever since loading those winds, that may have been a mistake. Okay, good stuff. So we've actually got quite a bit of an easy cruise now. We've only got to drop 7,000 feet. We've got 30 miles to get rid of 7,000 feet. It should be fine. In the meantime, let's get our lights on. Just do a panel check. Everything's looking good up here. No warnings. Feels like we're a touch over speed. Maybe it's the plane trying to get that profile back on track because it was saying that we're above where it deems to be the descent profile. So maybe it's trying to prioritise that over speed. We weren't above 250, so it was okay. Let's see if it can maintain it now. It's slipping away again, isn't it? You see here, look. This little diamond looks like it's just dropping away, which means we are above where we should be. This represents where we should be. It's not a million miles off, but speed's creeping up again. I say we stick with the speed brakes. No point making life hard for ourselves. Where is that down there? That looks nice. So the airport is actually really not that far, it's just kind of there in fact. So we're just coming round now to do a bit of a loop. We've got a decel coming up. And we could really be doing with being at 230 for the next waypoint. Keeping that speed brake out. Just wondering at what point would be appropriate to get flaps out. I mean, now might not be the worst idea. Go to flaps 5. They've got a decel point coming up. I think that wouldn't be the worst idea to start getting us down to 180. 184. So we're going to do a flaps 30 landing, 150 knots plus 5 for wind correction, so 155 approach speed. Currently heading down to 180, or 184 I should say. Then another 4 miles, nibble it down to 163, then on to final, get it down to the 155 and come in for our landing. This is our turn on to final approach. Get the cam on. Obviously I'm not flying it just yet, but it can't hurt. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself and have to do a go around. Stranger things have happened though. Okie dokie. Everything's looking good. Let's get the engines into continuous. And we'll do auto brake 3. Speed brakes back. Do gear down, because frankly the drag will help. And we can start getting our flaps configured. So we're only about a mile away now. Then it'll be time to get ourselves down to 163. Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, flaps 10. Okay, so we're in approach mode. I'm hoping the plane is going to start descending itself. It doesn't really feel like it's going to. Turn off the auto throttle. Feels like we're coming in a bit hot here, I'm not going to lie. A little bit more power. Starting to get more used to flying with the left. Although I'd be lying if I said I was completely happy about it. Okay, a little bit over to the left required, I think. There goes that FPS again.
Traffic. 500. 400.
Yeah, that FPS is all over the show, isn't it? We may struggle to land this as a result.
300.
I wonder why it's this airport that gives it such a hard time. It did the same yesterday.
200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, that was bad. 355, but the FPS is so bad. Why is it so bad? Yeah, I can't even get 30 FPS. Look at that. That felt horrible coming down. Sorry about that. Really tricky to fly, that one. Just about making it to 30 FPS. Just about. 350 feet per minute. Yeah, that was a hard, horrible landing. That was not good. But equally not nice having nearly 20 frames per second on landing either. Not sure what we could have done about that. Still a landing, yeah, you're right. You're right. No, it's just not the landing we wanted, really. Could have done without it. If all that frame drop. Look, again, like 26, 25. I wonder if it's FSLTL that's doing it. But it was here yesterday again. Same old story on when we're on VATSIM. Unfortunate, is what I'll say. Why does all the scenery look like it's melted as well? Look, look, look at this, look. What's all that about? Something ain't right. I mean, that's just not right, is it? Something's up. Something is most certainly up with that. Qantas Freight, what are they doing here? They're a long way from home. Yeah, it's like almost like it just hasn't rendered in the airport. You can see that even now it's really struggling to get to a locked 30, which is what I try and limp with, which is what I cap it to. And that there, like, what's going on there? That ain't right. Any which way you slice it, that ain't right. I suspect this is probably the root of our frames per second issue, which I am going to blame for the landing. Otherwise it would have been perfect, trust me. Honest. Well, that was a shame. I hope the FPS would have not done that to us. I thought maybe it was just a one-off yesterday, but clearly something about this airport that it doesn't like. Very strange indeed. I'll have to look into that a bit more. Because again, it's almost like it's just refusing to load anything. Which is why we've got all these like melted versions of scenery. I wonder why it does that. Like, what's all this up here? Look? What's all that? Is that like part of a terminal building that hasn't rendered? Very strange. Very strange indeed. Very strange. Anyway, I'm almost out of time. Now is a pretty good place to leave it. Thank you all so much for your company. Sorry about the landing and sorry about the FPS. That's just all a bit... I feel a bit deflated, I'm not going to lie. It feels like a bit of a rubbish way to end the stream, but sometimes it happens. But we will be back. Don't you worry about that. Possibly tomorrow night. Possibly. We'll see. I'll try and schedule it. And in the meantime, as always, take the very best care of yourselves and happy flying.